Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome, making his way into the cage, Gary Taylor.
They say that mixed martial arts is the ultimate proving ground in combat sports, and certainly, Dean, we've seen plenty of action throughout the years from the likes of Team Crossface. Gary Taylor, a fighter in their stable who really enjoys the process of training, peaking, competing, and performing.
He started boxing in his garage, went from there and saw MMA as the ultimate test. And he wants to do something other than just working and sleeping. He wants to achieve something here tonight, Chris.
And what a platform to do it on. Indeed, Rise of Champions, folks. That big platform here in London. Brad One Punch Pickett bringing in the guys from all the top gyms, not only in the UK, London, of course, but in Europe. Gary Taylor wants to go out there and make a statement tonight, plain and simple.
Yeah, he wants to use his boxing. He feels like he's in optimum shape, and he's really going to test himself tonight, Chris.
He sees Team Crossface as a bunch of killers, and I quote. So, a lot of faith in the corner. Cannot wait to see Gary Taylor.
And his opponent, please welcome Ben LONTTON.
Once upon a time, 3 years ago, a young man walked into BKK from Colchester, Essex. It's Ben LONTTON, 23 years of age, 5'10", 3 fights in the books. Really has enjoyed the time from when he first entered the gym, fine-tuned his skills, coming out tonight to go .500 and get that second big win.
He is known as Crazy Ben in the gym. He wants to make this ugly, he wants to make it dirty, and he needs this victory, Chris.
So BKK, another outstanding gym. Really, really, really tough fighters out there. Look at the way this guy makes the weight as well, Dean. That really gives you an indication of the type of physical performance he has promised here tonight.
He comes rough and ready, as his appearance would seem, Chris. He does a great job utilizing the weight cut. As you can see there, he doesn't look drawn out. He looks in shape, ready, you know, to get this on here at the Rise of Champions. And he's looking to make this show his secret ninja skills.
Well, some interesting promises from both men. Here we go, the second man in the ring. Ben LONTTON is ready to rock.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Rise of Champions cage, we present three 3-minute rounds of amateur MMA in the flyweight division. Introducing first in the blue corner, he stands 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed in officially 56.9 kilograms with 1 win, 2 defeats. Representing Team Crossface from Slough, he is Gary Taylor. And his opponent in the red corner, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighed in officially 56.5 kilograms with 1 win, 2 defeats. Representing BKK Fighters from Colchester, England, he is Crazy Ben LONTTON. When the action begins, your referee in charge, Mr. Daniel Mulvahedi.
As the cage door closes, both men have not taken their eyes off each other. Daniel Mulvahedi in charge, LONTTON taking on Taylor. This one looks like it's going to go from 0 to 100 in an instant, Dean.
LONTTON come out ready, but he's utilizing the good long jab there, utilizing his attributes to his best ability. And you're seeing Taylor trying to get in. He keeps his hands nice and high. He does a great job of using the crazy monkey block and then firing a counter shot.
So already some very good boxing exchanges from both men, but there's a reach advantage there, Dean.
Yeah, LONTTON almost certainly utilizing that jab to his full ability. Lands a nice one there, but we see Taylor utilize the slip, and he's closing the distance, Chris.
Yeah, some dirty work there from Taylor. The edge and experience for Taylor. So he's certainly faced adversity before in these positions. He's eaten some kicks and some jabs, though. I love the way that LONTTON will actually use that reach advantage, enter on a combination, then exit to avoid the counter.
Taylor landed a nice right hand there just over the top. If he can couple that with some nice head movement and some different strikes on the way in, he could have some success there. But LONTTON, again, utilizing the reach, Chris, he's on the outside. He's pumping that jab out. He's faking and feinting, and he's using the leg kick very well.
LONTTON is often twitching that right hand, showing the right, firing the jab just like that. I think being a little bit more confusing at this point, Dean.
Yeah, LONTTON is making Taylor think what's coming next. And while he's thinking what's coming next, he can't think of actually what he wants to do or even implement something that he wants to do. So he's forcing Taylor on the back foot.
Nice uppercut lands from Ianton. Swift right kick there, though, from his opponent. Taylor's looking good. He's there. I like the parrying from Taylor. Ianton says, let's go. Taylor says, come on.
Ianton now egging him on. He almost certainly wants him to come in just like that, but Taylor done a great job of putting his head down there to the left and throwing the overhand right. He's trying to place that overhand right on the chin, Chris.
Dipping the head and then trying to throw the punches. I think Ianton would do well to try to move his head a little bit more, but Taylor has his work cut out for him, trying to get into the pocket. Nice left hook again. Again, Taylor connects. Ianton's got to be careful here.
Taylor doing a great job of changing levels. He's slightly dipping his body downward and then coming over the top with that overhand right. He's having some success there. I like to see him sell the shot, actually threaten a takedown and then go upstairs for the overhand right.
Nice slip again from Taylor. Taylor has done very well to try and figure out the timing, the patterns, if you will, being shown by Ianton, and when to come in and close that distance.
Ianton working on the outside, nice jab. He needs to put something on the end of the jab though, Chris, and finish with that lovely low kick.
Uppercut, uppercut. Nice work here from Taylor. Taylor again with the right across the top of the left hand of Ianton.
Yeah, Ianton's leaving that jab out. He's making it nice and long, but he's not bringing it back to his chin, and indeed he's not moving his head.
The end of round one. Dean, that was more or less a glorified boxing match.
Yeah, no one even threatened the takedown, didn't go for the takedown there. Be interesting to see if they implement that in the second round. But, I mean, I'm really impressed with Taylor's ability to deal with somebody with a much longer reach than him.
And if you were in Taylor's corner right now, Dean, what would you be explaining if you were David Lee?
Keep the head moving, threaten the takedowns, Chris, set up the overhand right. You can't keep throwing that because when Ianton starts to read it, block it, and counter, it's going to be in trouble.
On the flip side, BKK, what do they need to go for here?
Ianton, again, needs to pump the jab up, but put something on the end of it, Chris, and work the angles. Taylor's coming straight forward, looking for the overhand right. If Ianton can create the angle and look for the check left hook, he's going to have some success there.
So the blueprint should be there, folks. Round two coming your way here at Rise of Champions 4. Round two of a scheduled 3. Daniel the Gentleman Movahidi in charge, one of the very best in the business. For all of you tuning in on UFC Fight Pass, I'm Chris Hoekstra, joined alongside me, Dean Midhat. We are great to be with you here. And what a fight it has been so far between Ianton and Taylor.
And the crowd are responding there when Taylor was landing those shots. And I love the way he mixed in the low leg kick there. Just be careful about dipping his head straight down, almost like he wants to look at the floor. Because if Ianton can time that uppercut, we could see a KO, Chris.
Ianton is looking for it, though. I see more coming in off that jab. It would not be enough to just throw that one strike followed by an occasional right cross team. That was one of the things you wanted to see more of, was leading with that jab, but throwing additional options off those combinations.
Yeah, punches in bunches, couple them with a kick. And remember, Chris, this is MMA. You can threaten the takedown or even go for it. There, Ianton opting to go for the knee there. What he's doing, Chris, he's sensing that Taylor's putting his head down when he's throwing the shots. You see right there, he slipped to the right-hand side, but his head is down. And that exposes you to knees and kicks.
So the pace is slowed just a little bit here. Good short combinations, though. I think if Ianton could punch longer, Dean, that might help him because, again, he's really dealing with some difficult tools coming in from Taylor. Taylor again looking for the left, and it lands. Left hook again from Taylor.
Ianton's got to address where his head is in space, Chris. He's leaving it up there too tall. He needs to move it. He needs to take a page out of Taylor's book and use some head movement.
Again, Taylor connects. Huge overhand right from Taylor.
Taylor now smells blood, but he's very patient. He's still setting it up with the jab, keeping his hands nice and high.
The question in my mind is, how disciplined can Ianton stay? And how opportunistic can Taylor be?
There was Ianton showing that uppercut. He wants to deter Taylor from coming in and putting the head down and charging up those big overhand right shots.
Taylor's doing a very good job of throwing combinations and actually moving his head afterwards. It's interesting to me to watch when he chooses to move his head, Dean. That's the decision-making in MMA that's often so consequential, if you will.
Ianton as well, he's not putting a stamp on these strikes. He's not making Taylor think twice about coming. He's got to make him taste the power.
Janssen throwing here, looking for something, does well to turn off the cage. Round kick lands. Taylor looking to punish and punch simultaneously. This has been a much better round, I think a much more even round.
You see here Taylor takes center cage, and that is a massive thing in the judges' eyes, the control of this space. And being the shorter man, that is very rare to see. Usually it's a short man trying to get in, but here, as you say again with the overhand right, he's just able to perfectly place it on Jansen's chin.
Again, very similar strategies from both guys. Just 10 seconds to go here. Taylor and Janssen will see the end of the second round as we continue to what should be an exhilarating third, Dean.
I love the way Chris Taylor put a full stop on the end of the sentence that is this fight. At the end of the fight, closed the distance and pinned Janssen up. And he's just furthermore shutting him down, controlling the cage, Chris, and utilizing that overhand right, which lands the majority of the time.
And if we look at how he set that up, Dean, it was often a very patient approach, wasn't it?
Yeah, he didn't swarm in, he didn't put himself in any reckless danger. He's really setting up the overhand right, moving the head, and I think the head movement has been key in this fight, with Gary Taylor really moving his head and Janssen not.
Round three, the third and final round here. 3 minutes on the clock. Chris Hoekstra on the call alongside Dean Midhat. Dean, this is an interesting one. It could be one round apiece. It would be very interesting to see whether or not the game plan will change for either guy.
Janssen, yeah, he's doing the same thing. He needs to switch it up. He's leaving his head out there. If you notice, his arms will come out from his body, almost independent of his shoulders and his head. I'd like to see him turn those punches over and use some head movement, use some slips, and don't leave his head so far up and out there for Taylor to strike.
So Taylor, again, as we saw, kind of in that first and second round, if we were to sort of look at how that went down on paper, was very patient for the opening 30 seconds to, say, 45 seconds in. But by a minute, we saw him turn up the heat just a bit more. You've got to kind of get a feeling for your opponent's rhythm, Dean, in boxing. Of course, knowing when to press forward, when to back out. Oh, he ate a solid couple of shots there. That's much better for Janssen. Sitting down in the punches, showing better extension. Those were two convincing punches. And Taylor comes back a little bit more aggressively.
Yeah, now Taylor's tasted the power. That's what I was speaking about. He's making him taste the power, and he's going to really make Taylor work harder to get in to land the overhand right. Now you can see Taylor's a little bit more tentative.
1, 2, 3. A little bit of a slap there from Janssen. Better jab there. Ben Janssen is using that height and reach advantage in a better way this round.
Janssen ate another overhand right there. Utilizing the jab, Chris. Nice right hand.
Left hook again. He's going to look for that 2 off that. It's going to be a left hook to a right. Just like that. He went left to the body and then a right coming in. Gary Taylor has got the similar tricks that we saw in rounds 1 and 2, but Janssen showing some evolution and understanding too.
Janssen just using the boxing realm. Nice uppercut attempt there. I like to see him use some body kicks or some leg kicks.
Left hook again to a 2. I would love to see Taylor lead with something new here. Janssen is gauging him and lining up that left jab very nicely.
He's loading that uppercut, Chris, that rear uppercut of Janssen. He's looking to place that. He's got to catch Taylor coming in just like that. If he can circle off, keep the left hand up and work the right uppercut, he's going to have some success.
It's intriguing, isn't it? When you see a fighter extend a punch, you always have to really consider where it's coming back to. And that's what you mean by Janssen. If that jab comes out, it's going to come right back to the chin.
Yeah, he's eating some punches again, puts his hands up, but that usually means that they hurt a fighter. He's trying to mask that. Nice. Janssen's looking for a fight now.
On we go, says Taylor. Taylor lands the 1-2. Taylor swinging for the fences. Janssen backs off.
Janssen now drawing him in, but I love the way he's using the jab. He's using the jab to set up that right hand, Chris. He's circling off beautifully. And you notice now he's bouncing out of range.
Outstanding work from both men as we see the end of a third round. Dean, that was a performance from both individuals to the very end.
That could easily been of one of the top billed fights, Chris. It's amazing to see the evolution of the fighters there in the cage. And towards the end, they both agreed to just stand there and bang.
And that was really one of the most notable things about it, Dean. It was the volume of strikes being thrown throughout 3 rounds.
Taylor, they're looking for the head movement, which allowed him to land the higher percentage of strikes and that fight-deciding overhand right. But neither fighter could get the power behind to cause the knockout, so we will ultimately go to a judge's decision.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the ROC cage, after 3 exciting rounds, we go to our judges' scorecards. Our judges scored about 29-28, 30-27, 30-27. To your winner by unanimous decision, Gary Taylor.